రచనా గాజులు, హరిణి, మోక్షిత, and Gandhi is Dhar. Shreya, Saundarya, Shrikari, Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, all children. Great applause for all. I request Simaji to please take over from here.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. It was such a wonderful performance by kids. Now, I would like to welcome a keynote speaker of the day, that is Dr. Bala S. Ramani.
Thank you, Seema. Honorable People's Consulate, being one of the people and being here. Thanks to Consulate for the invitation. Thanks to the Consulate Court and thanks to very senior dignitaries. When I was hearing to Sri Padmanabhan's speech, it's like really tears on my eyes because I know how it was really to get something through in a country like this, which is very highly bureaucratic basis. And I personally have gone through establishing Mahatma Gandhi Bus in Hannover. It took me at least, in your case, at least I'm lucky, it took me only 1.5 years. So in your case, 2007 and 2012, it has been a long, and it's my personal wish. I hope it will come true at some point of time to have Mahatma Gandhi Bus for a statue in Hamburg in a very prominent place. And thanks a lot for everyone here. I do not know whether I deserve to be here as a keynote speaker among so much of luminaries and people who have very high caliber here. But I try to speak from what I personally follow. Maybe I was given a topic, Gandhian philosophy. For me, we must be the change we wish to see is my very core credential, which I try my very best to at least 10% fulfill in my life. And Niharika Sanilkumar, when she said you must be the change, that's what I think. Everything starts there. And you have to be something rather than telling about what others should follow. And two core philosophy which I like very much, and I think that forms the basis of Mahatma Gandhi's life all along, is one is simplicity. And I think till his last, he was one of the most, let's put it this way, practicing simplest person ever have lived in this planet. Second is respect for each other and accepting each other as they are. I think if both of these can blend, then I think his core philosophy of non-violence will be there. I think simplicity means it's not about, of course, one of the symbol of simplicity is his clothing, what he wore, but it's not just like that he wore. There is a very strong meaning behind why his clothes were that. He was a very famous barrister in London, and we could also see the pictures of him wearing very high quality suits. But after coming to India, he realized First of all, if I want to fight for those things which is being deprived for the people of my country, then I need to transform myself to be them. I want to be with them. They should identify that I am with them and I am for them. And that's the main reason. For the sake of people who do not even have enough to wear a very simple cloth, he transformed himself. And that is his core simplicity. Also, when we speak about simplicity, it's also about sustainability. That is also something, a very core philosophy he practiced. We all know, today we speak a lot about organic farming, bio and everything. Long ago, he himself in his ashram, he had everything that is needed for his daily need and also people in the ashram. Let it be vegetables, let it be milk, let it be crops, anything for that matter. He himself was in the garden. It's not that he behaved like a master there, rather than he showed what people can do, and he showed them first that it can be done through himself. And then people can follow. That is also, I think, one of the way of showing simplicity is that you show to them and people will follow, rather than say that you do. Because when people see, like today, what a fantastic program, the children, the young minds, when they say, people have to look at it, because the children do not have any prejudice. They are not subjective. They look at things as they look at very objectively in the sense. They don't see it or they don't think too much. They don't have any negativity in their mind, very pure mind. When these, and that's exactly Mahatma Gandhi always has been also, he showed that something can be done. His autobiography, when people read, again simplicity, anybody can read his autobiography. It is not a complex language. He just spoke the way he lived his life. I think when people start to think simple of even complex problems, then many problems could be solved. We already explained the problem in a complex way, so basically solutions also become complex. I think that is one way. Second thing, very simple, is respecting and accepting each other. I think that is where many of the time we have really problems. What is there in very difficult to accept people as they are? Because there is nothing right in this world, there is nothing wrong in this world. Each and everybody, for you something is right, is somebody is wrong. And something wrong for others is somebody is right for you. That means you can have a very strong discourse on anything. You need to have a discourse. You need to discuss anything, let it be any subject for that matter. Should not totally take away any thoughts from anyone. You cannot say at the start of any idea that is wrong. Any idea cannot be that simply wrong. People are bringing some idea because they have some notion behind it. They have some understanding behind that idea. So we have to hear to that idea. Maybe factually that can be wrong, but you should not say that immediately the idea is wrong. Nor you should not non-listen to them, because Gandhiji's biggest power is his listening skills. And that is also one thing. He has always, whether it's the British or anyone, he has never said something, immediately this is not something I'm not going to do. He always went for negotiations. He always went for dialogue. He was so strong, that's why the British colonialists cannot stay, because when he went for any argument, maybe that is due to his lawyer profession also, but he was so well prepared. There is no way, nobody can say that this is not, for the point of view, because he had prepared his discussions very well. Even in his autobiography you can read, and many letters published, he is very, very prepared when he went for any discussions. And that is also one of his strengths. And second, he never mentioned anyone his enemy, because he respected everyone. Even for the sake of it, even the very, very cruel Nazi dictator Hitler, when he wrote a letter to him, he wrote, "Dear my friend." But then, doesn't mean it was a friend. But he always started, "Dear my friend." But inside, he disagreed completely with his philosophies and everything. But he had respect. He never said, nobody is the enemy. You need to respect each other, and you cannot judge people just by hearing something or seeing something. You need to really understand why people behave that way. For that, it is not just one chat over a coffee is enough. Today, in a fast-moving world, unfortunately, we make the mistake. We read the titles in the newspaper, we go by Facebook posts, we go by Twitter, and we form an opinion on something. That is not the way it should be. you need to really dig through many things. You cannot suddenly give that somebody a hero badge or somebody a villain. That cannot be the way it is. One has to really go into research into it. You need to, when you want to say a person is good or the other way around, you need to know about that person. You need to know about the subject. In today's world, unfortunately, that's not the case. That is something Mahatma Gandhi never did it. He always, when he wanted to give his views, he made his research very much, and he respected people of any thoughts. Even during partition or before, it was not that he came to a conclusion. So he always said that I need my time. That's why sometimes people were frustrated and it took time. But he said, no, you cannot do that anyway over something in a short period of time. He had to go on, negotiate, dialogue, and then make sure that you understand the people better. And in that way, you also understand how they are. Why? Because it also has to combine with the sustainability. We speak a lot about climate today. Greta Thunberg, a name which we all know. That also shows sustainability and simplicity as well. We cannot reject any idea telling that you can always have, you can tell that one small girl what she can do. But again, it's a Gandhian philosophy, you can go very beyond. During the Hannover talk also, there was someone who spoke about the keynote where he started with Martin Luther King and he finally ended with Greta Thunberg. He said so many people are influenced by his simplest philosophy and sustainability because said, without violence, you can achieve things. Many people dismiss the idea that young girl in front of a Swedish parliament every day in the rain had a placard telling you politicians has to make a change for the climate. Nobody believed. Today, millions and millions are following. I don't want to discuss how far it will go, but that's not the question. But today people see that a single 16-year-old school student can make a mass movement just based on the thoughts, not based on violence. But that is the pure of it. Protest, you can do protest in a non-violent way, people will follow you. Protest need not be always violent. These are few things which always blend with Mahatma Gandhi, which I feel it's the very core value of things which can make this world very peaceful. Simplicity, respect for each other, which can also bring everything together. I think with few words of this, within the given time, I think I could say that I try my very best personally, and I think I am probably in few things I could, because I know I am also in a world not as a single human being. I need to also live in a society where sometimes even I would like to, cannot. But probably that's what also one of the child very nicely said, forgiveness. If you cannot do it, doesn't mean you fail. But you can say that I could not do it, so I forgive myself because I am living in a society, I am not an individual. So I thank every one of you, and it's a very wonderful program, and I hope every one of us take a single leaf out of this great human being's life, and we can try to follow in our own life, in our own house, pass on to our children. Probably every one of us say that I take a small point from him what a successful is. I think the whole world can be transformed. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.